Hey everybody, John with Al, and I see your comments, I see them. You make fun of me for being excited about the new products we have. Well, I'm excited about this one, but I'm gonna present it very, very calmly. So this is the newest revolution in rear door carriers. No, it's not good like that. Let's do it exciting. This is a new B2 Flex. It is something we've been working on for years, and it is finally here. And while it looks like two giant panels, which it is, which allows you to carry tons and tons of gear, what you don't see is the design and engineering behind it, the amount of time we spent to make it strong, super lightweight, and best of all, flexible for your adventures, hence the name B2 Flex. I know, we're super innovative, but let's jump into how we build this and how you configure it for your adventure. We popped off these panels so that you can get a look at how we actually built this. In fact, I'm gonna bring you in a lot closer. This is what we call the chassis, and this is what makes us different from every other kind of big panel Sherpa copycat on the planet. This is 2-inch thick wall tubular aluminum, and while it's very light, it's incredibly strong. And you'll see that we mandrel bend it throughout the carrier to retain all of that strength. We also bend it here so it contours to the van. It just, you can't see that, there you go. It just looks much more aesthetically pleasing, and it doesn't really add that much time, so we just bend it right there. This is a giant crossbar that's gonna add a ton of rigidity to this, but then you've also got our mounting structure that's built in here. So our normal B2 actually comes to about here. And the reason it comes to right there is because A, you have to reach the handle, and B, the structure inside this door is actually right here. So a lot of companies wanna mount their carriers in a symmetrical location. But if you look at the way Al does it, we do it based on the best structural location for the mounting. And so for this, for ladder tires, for B2 Flex, for everything that's on the driver door, we put it right there. This has actually no structure behind it on the passenger side. So we went ahead and put that where the structure is on the passenger side. So that's what this flange is for. But once it's all mounted up, it looks nice and clean and homogeneous. That's right, I said homogeneous. Why is this a Flex? Well, it's because it's flexible. You've got an upper panel and a lower panel. What we want to do is create a platform on which you can tailor your racks to your adventure. If you want to do like a Sherpa panel on the bottom for different gear, and you still really, it's a deal breaker that you really want a view out the back, you can put a window panel on one side, you can put it over here and a tire down here. You can now swap this out. Let's say you wanted as much carrying capacity as possible. Now you can put a Sherpa on the top and the bottom. And Sherpa is just referring to our kind of hole and slot pattern that we pioneered. Fun fact, did you know that the Sherpa, the tire carrier, and the ladder tire were all invented within the first 180 days that Al was around? Yeah, it's like 7 years ago. And we invented them all within like 3 months. So this is the biggest change we've ever had. And I don't mean that just as a pun that it's big. So going over it again, we really wanted to make this as flexible as possible, and that includes listening to you all. So we've got these, what we call tire baskets or tire mounting plates. That's for your spare. We've only ever mounted the spare down low because it's easy to get to, but we've had so many people request putting a spare up high that we made a panel for a spare up high. So you can do this with your spare. You could turn this into a full Sherpa plate. The license plate you can see right through here, but you can also get a panel to fully cover this if you're going to relocate the license plate to the front of the box. So this is a tire basket, and again, if you get the tire mounting panel, you can mount this tire basket up here, and then you have your all thread that is basically the same as the ladder tire carrier. It comes through here, and then you've also got your cone, and it changes depending on a 2500 or a 3500. And of course, your Owl handle. So that's if you want to run your tire up high. If you want to run your tire down low, like you would on the ladder tire, you could make this a window panel, or you could just take the panel and make it entirely more carrying capacity, Sherpa, propane tanks, bikes, whatever you want to. And again, you can put this spare tire anywhere. That's really the idea, is that you can really put whatever adventure gear you want onto this. In fact, we're thinking about doing versions that are like Milwaukee Packout and so on. So again, the way this whole system works is we have the chassis, incredibly light. You can pick it up with like one hand, no problem. And then you've got the panels that are just cut out of aluminum. So these can hold hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I'm about 200 pounds right now. And I've stood on this with a box and a carrier and everything on it. I mean, it is absolutely rock solid. But you may ask me, if we have a handle there and I put a panel on it, how am I gonna open it? Well, let's do exactly that. In the interest of time, I have only put in 2 bolts, but now you can see with this here and theoretically a tire mounted here, you can't get to the handle. And what most folks do is they have a giant cutout that requires you to not mount a box there, and you really can't do anything about it. You can't use the whole space of the carrier, but look what we did right here. And it opens. It's pretty cool. It's actually genius. I wish I could take credit for thinking of it, but I didn't. It's a handle that is attached. Can you guys see in there? It's attached to the handle of the Sprinter so that as you pull this towards you, it opens the door. It's an incredibly logical and easy way. You just walk right up, you kind of pop it, and if you have stop stays, it opens right up. And with carriers this big that can support hundreds of pounds, we do recommend that you get the stop stays. It just helps control all of that weight. Simple upgrade. But again, I just love this handle. It's such a cool design, and it gives you, think about it, the handle starts right here. Look at all this mounting space that you gain by having that handle. So this is B2 Flex. It is something that we have been working on and engineering for a long, long time, and I want to help you out in the way you order it online. So the last thing is, when you go online, you're going to see 2 chassis. You can get a chassis for a driver's side, and you get a chassis for a passenger side. Now with those chassis, you then pick out your panels. So do you want your tire up here, your tire here, or no tire at all? And so after you select your chassis, you've got to go to the little menu, and you're going to select, driver upper panel, driver lower panel, etc. So if you have any questions on how to configure this, please reach out to customer support, reach out to Install, your local off-road center, or shoot us an email. Again, B2 Flex, where it's flexible for your adventure.